Hey guys, it's Megan, and in today's video, I'll be showing you 5 ways to fill your sketchbook for spring. We have a lot to get through today, so let's just get into it. The first idea that I have for you guys is to draw the view outside your window. I do most of my drawing in my craft room, which has this small window on the back wall. I drew the window and my memory card decided that it didn't feel like working that day, so we're just gonna move on to the painting. I taped off the area inside the window, which I know spiderwebs are super appropriate for spring, but what can you do? Although I guess spring does mean that you'll see more bugs, which I've been seeing so many stink bugs lately, very irritated by it. I just taped that off and painted around it with my Arteza acrylic paint. I have a bunch of things piled up in front of the window, but I didn't really feel like drawing all of them, so I just drew the flowers that are on the windowsill. And as usual, anytime you see me using a marker, they are the Ohuhu brush markers. They just came out with a set of 120 brush markers, which is insane. I feel like if you get 120 markers, you probably will never need markers again. I thought that it would look cool if I cut out the center of the window, then drew the scenery outside on the next page. Adding little cutouts like this is a great way to make your sketchbook more interesting. You obviously don't have to make it a window either. You could just do a random shape like a heart or circle and like doodle around it or paint it or whatever you want. Probably don't do anything too complicated though, because even just the flowers were kind of a pain to try to cut around, but that's why I didn't draw all of the other stuff in front of the window. On the next page, I painted the view that's actually outside my window. I found that paint usually works the best for me when trying to do a landscape, so for this page, I quickly sketched a few of the main shapes like the picnic table and the sheds in the back, but I didn't really do much initial sketching. I did a base layer for the grass and the sky, and built up the detail from there. For the grass, I used a dry brush to add small strokes of a few different shades of green paint. I also added a little bit of brown in there, since it's spring and the grass hasn't fully grown in yet, so it's kind of looking a little sad out there. For the sky, the clouds were kind of wispy on the day that I did this. So I painted a few strokes of a darker blue and used a round brush dipped in a little bit of white to add clouds. I obviously don't have a ton of painting experience, so I was just kind of winging it for most of this page. It's definitely not the most realistic, but I think you can kind of tell what I was going for. I feel like that's the case with most of the things that I do on this channel. I'm just kind of winging it and crossing my fingers that it works out. So here's how the finished painting of my backyard turned out, and here it is combined with the window page. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could decorate the back of the window page to look like the outside of your house, and the page before that could be the view looking into your room. The next idea that I have for you guys is to draw something made out of flowers. This could be a letter, an animal, an object, really anything you want, just make it out of flowers, and it could be any kind of flowers that you want. This page was actually inspired by a class that I recently took on Skillshare, who was nice enough to sponsor today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people. Their classes are designed for real life, so you can move your creative journey forward without putting life on hold. Skillshare is also super affordable. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month, which is way cheaper than going to an in-person class or workshop. They offer classes for all skill levels on topics like design, illustration, photography, animation, and more. The best part is that the first 500 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. I just took a class called Illustrated Lettering, Drawing Intricate Floral Forms by Gemma O'Brien. This class teaches you how to create these gorgeous floral letters. I wanted to change it up a little bit though, so I did butterfly wings instead. Something that was really cool about this class is that she showed how to create your own reference photos by first drawing the letter and then blowing it up and arranging real flowers on top of it. That's something that I actually do quite a bit. If I ever need to draw a certain pose for a character, I'll just take a really awkward picture of myself in that pose. I didn't do that for this drawing though because I didn't feel like I needed to. I just found a picture of a butterfly, some pictures of flowers, drew the butterfly, put the flowers in the wings, and then I had this. I actually thought it looked pretty good up until this point when I decided to fill in the butterfly's body, which was a mistake. But thankfully, my Winsor Newton Pro markers came to the rescue. I colored the flowers various shades of gray, and just like I learned in the class, I made sure that the flowers weren't next to another flower that was the exact same shade of gray. I also mixed a few different shades of gray for a couple of the flowers like the lavender. I also learned in the class that whenever you do this, you want to make sure that you have a bunch of different sizes of flowers. And here's how my finished drawing turned out. I really like doing these grayscale drawings, and I definitely want to get back into it. The third idea that I have for you guys is to draw a fairy. I don't know why, but I've been seeing all these people on TikTok like just pretending to be fairies out here, and I'm pretty sure that most of them are just going up and doing this on their kitchen counter, but you know, what do I know? Honestly, I'm kind of here for this trend. Like, there are definitely worse things that kids could be doing. Plus, most of them don't show their face, so it's not like 10 years down the line at some job interview someone's gonna bring it up. So, it's a pretty wholesome trend. I approve, except I keep clicking not interested on the TikTok videos because I really don't care about them, but TikTok has not gotten the message that I'm not interested, which apparently I was interested enough to like let it inspire a part in a video, so maybe they know me better than I know myself. But anyways, that's why I decided to draw a fairy. I tried to draw her so that it kind of looked like she was leaning up against a counter to kind of, I guess, go along with the trend. I don't really know what she's supposed to be doing in there. Maybe she's just making a TikTok. And also, I don't know why she has posters in her bathroom. Do people do that? Let me know. You can definitely tell that I was a little rusty on this one. I haven't been drawing as much as I used to, and I'm trying to get back into it. But, yeah, her face is looking a little questionable. I'm pretty sure it's the eyes. I think I just made them a little bit too big. I didn't really have a plan for the wings, so I just put some random doodles in there with markers and a Posca pen. For the background, I colored most of it with markers, but I decided that a plain white wall would be a little too boring, so I painted it a super light pink. And here's how the finished drawing turned out. Again, her face really isn't the best, but I kind of like how I did the shading on the shirt. Another fun thing you can do in your sketchbook during spring is to draw Easter eggs and decorate them. I made this a little bit easier for myself by making a template for the Easter eggs. I drew one egg on a separate sheet of paper, cut it out, and traced around it 5 times. I don't know about you guys, but I've personally always felt like decorating Easter eggs is a little bit pointless. Not gonna lie, I still do it every single year, but for one thing, I don't even like eggs. And for another thing, you spend so much time and effort on something that it's just gonna get eaten. But like I said, still do it pretty much every year. Last year, I made the Shrek Easter egg, and in the time that it took me to do this one, my sister put all the stickers on the other ones. But let me know if you decorate Easter eggs for a shout out in my next video. This is just a fun, random thing to do. Whenever I'm stuck for ideas, I always find that drawing some random shape to work with can help me find inspiration. I did something sort of similar a while back. I drew a bunch of circles on the page and challenged myself to turn them into something. I filled in the Easter eggs with a few different pastel colors and painted the background light green to kind of look like grass. Once the paint dried, I put designs on the eggs with Posca pens, which, come to think of it, I feel like these would actually be pretty good for decorating real Easter eggs, kind of like how people use them to paint on rocks. I don't know, does anyone still do that anymore? We would always just get those boxes of dye, and sometimes we'd like put white crayon on it before you dye it, or one time we did this thing with silk scarves, I think, and like you put it, I don't know, it looked really cool though. But anyways, here's how the finished page turned out. You could use this technique to plan what you want to do on your actual Easter eggs, or you can just do it for fun like I did. Something else that I did that's sort of spring related is this contour drawing. Ideally, you'd go outside and collect a few different leaves or flowers, but I was filming this at like 11 at night, so I just used some fake ones. This is a really good way just to warm up in your sketchbook, and you don't have to use flowers. You could draw anything that you want. I was originally going to try to make this one continuous line drawing, but I completely forgot about it like 5 seconds in, so now it's just kind of a, wonky pen drawing. I just used an Ohuhu brush marker for this, and I think that brush markers work really well for drawings like this because it just helps you be a little bit more loose and flowy, and you don't have to worry about the lines being 100% perfect. There's not a whole lot to say about this one. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, but I really encourage you guys to just go for it and just draw something directly in pen or marker because you might actually surprise yourself. This was inspired by those line drawings that I've been seeing everywhere lately, like if you go to Target or Urban Outfitters or in the wall art section. I don't know. Basically, moral of the story, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, so yay. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. My merch, my website, and all of my social media will be linked down below. Don't forget to check out Skillshare using the link in the description. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!